kasi panahon sabihin mo, sana ako pa rin.
Hey, what's up, you guys? I am VJ Robbie, and welcome to the show where we feature the hottest and the coolest music videos.
I don't know what my father sees in you. Kano katagal ka na ba niya sekretarya? Hindi siya ganyan magtiwala sa mga sekretarya niya, binibigyan ka niya ng blank check.
Ates, pwede ba bukas sa pamamanhikan? Behave naman.
Hello, moms. I hope na kayo po safe.
I'm Enchong Dee, your friend. Welcome!
And welcome to Bea Alonzo.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, a GMM for this month of May. My name is Kim Poy Feliciano, and this evening we will be talking about one of the newest players in the scene of content creation, and that's our celebrities. That's right, mga artista na dati nakikita lang natin sa sine o sa TV, pero these days we see them creating content for different social media platforms, which is kind of relatable for me since I'm also both into acting and the vlogging at the same time rin. So if there's a one person siguro na medyo nakaka-relate sa mga celebrities nito ay parang nakaka-relate ako sa kanila. So I really understand their point of views pagdating sa mga topic natin for tonight. Then siguro that is me. And I've been in both the entertainment and the content creation industry. Ang difference lang ay for me, nag-start ako as a creator, tapos medyo napasabak sa teleserye, so medyo into acting din. But this time, we'll be talking about these celebrities turned creator. So very interesting ang topic natin for tonight. And growing up, I only see their personal lives sa mga magazines, sa mga teleserye na napapanood natin sa TV. But today ay magkakaroon tayo ng exclusive interview with these big celebrities, and I think we all grew up looking at them and thinking to ourselves na grabe, ang perfect naman ng mga tao na to. But now that we are in the age of the internet and digital, we are seeing more and more of these celebrities giving us a glimpse of their lives through their YouTube blogs, their IG stories, their TikTok videos, and we realize that these perfect people we look up to are also humans katulad natin. And mas lalo nila tayong napapahanga. Tayo as audience, most of us feel so happy to see them behind the bright lights of a show business. But the question is, do they feel the same? Having been so used to portraying roles, memorizing scripts, and looking picture perfect all the time, how do these celebrities feel being in this new world of content creation? Well, personally, I do have my fair share of answers as well, given na na-experience ko to pre-pandemic, but I'm very curious kung ano yung mga isasagot nila sa mga itatanong natin. Are you guys curious about how their content creation started? Then, huwag kayong aalis because you are in the right place, because this evening we are going to talk about the content creation journey of some of the country's biggest celebrities. So I'm sure excited na kayong mapanood at makita si Miss Bea Alonzo. We have Mr. Enchong Dee and Miss Dimples Romana tonight. And before we jump right on it, please give us some love by sharing our video, our live stream with someone you think will like this content. I-share nyo na to sa mga kaibigan nyo, sa family nyo na big fans ng ating mga celebrities tonight, and itag nyo na sila sa comment section. And of course, kung may mga tanong din kayo, please type them there down below in the comment section, and baka isa ang mga questions nyo sa masagot ng ating mga celebrities. Okay, so I won't keep you waiting, guys. Alam kong sobrang excited na kayong malaman kung paano nag-start ang kanilang content creation journey. So katulad ng ating mga celebrities turned content creators, we have Robbie Domingo, who will be kick-starting this conversation with them. So, Robbie, are you ready? Take it away.
Hey, Kim Poy, maraming salamat for that wonderful introduction. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all over the world, my name is Robbie Domingo. And truth be told, I'm so excited to have this discussion, this conversation about authenticity, about creativity, about connectivity, and so much more with these icons who need no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Bea Alonzo, Mr. Enchong Dee, and Miss Dimples Romana.
Hello, everyone!
Oh,
Hello,
man.
hello. Grabe naman yung introduction na yun, Robby.
No, seryoso kasi sa totoo lang, no? Bata pa lang ako, napaparad ko na kayo lahat.
Ang kapal mo, ba't pa rin kami nun, no?
Now, before anything else, you want to say hi to all of the viewers right now? Let's start off with Miss Bea Alonzo.
Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be here, and actually I'm kind of nervous to be talking about what we're going to be talking about. What we're going to be talking about. See, I'm so nervous because parang I've never talked about it with anyone else but my friend Dimples, and it's just so nice to be in this panel because I know that I will be learning a lot from you guys.
Grabe, no? Celebrity slash content creator. Ayan, isa sa mga itatakal natin yan. Miss Dimples.
Turned content creator. Let's say slash content creator.
Slash, yes. Miss Dimples.
Hello, Mr. Robbie.
Ma'am, madam.
And then, magandang araw po sa lahat ng mga nandito ngayon watching. Tama si Mars Kong Bea. We actually just talk about it, just us lang about creating. And I have to tell you, Bea is like one of the most creative people I know, only because I grew up with her, no? We were together. We were just 16-year-olds and we didn't know anything. And everything naman po that we are talking about now are things also we learned from different people, from the veterans to the newbies. And it doesn't really matter. You know, where you get your information from, or basta at least, to make sure lang that it is legit, you know, that it really comes from the heart and it's organic. But at the end of the day, you know, this conversation and opening it up, no, to us, we feel very welcome. Salamat to CICP for making us feel very, very welcome. Salamat. Kasi it really means a lot to us, especially that this is a space where we're not really familiar with ngayon. So salamat for taking us in.
Actually, we want to really thank CICP for providing this platform, no, for us to learn the details and to share our experiences as well. And before we get to that one, Father Enchong. Gusto ko yung
Good afternoon. Good day sa lahat ng nanonood sa atin ngayon. CICP, thank you very much for inviting me again this year to be part of this conversation. Bea, Dimples, Robbie, I'm so happy na magkakasama tayo ngayon dito. I think pare-pareho tayong kinakabahan kasi kinakabahan tayo. Paano ba natin masisiksik lahat ng gusto nating i-share? Di ba? But I'm happy na kayo yung kasama ko ngayon. So good afternoon.
Actually, yung comment section natin, it's all fired up with all the questions, with all the things na gusto lang sabihin. Pero before we get to the nitty-gritty details, I just want to ask you, content creator, when that title or those words come to mind, especially when it's attached to your name, how do you feel about that one?
To be honest, ako medyo nag-cringe. I don't, because I have so much respect for the content creators, especially for those na ginagawa nila on their own. I feel like parang ako medyo easier for me because I have a team with me to do it. So medyo nag-cringe ako, but now I am kind of embracing it already because it is what it is, and I like sharing positive content to the world, to my followers.
Actually, I could relate to what Bea said, no? Cringe in the best way possible kasi you have so much respect for the people na gumagawa ng kakaibang mga content. They have their laptops, they have their desktops, they do all the editing, they take all the shots, tapos on the spot. Kaya for me, unlike you, ako hindi ko pa na-embrace masyado yung word na content creator. I always tell people that I'm an interviewer or a host using that kind of platform.
Right.
But
that's what I always say also, na I am an actress who happens to vlog online, who happens to share her life with her fans through YouTubing, through vlogging. So I guess my main job is still acting, but right now I like being connected to my fans through vlogging.
I shall tweet about that one. Ito yung description na yun. Babalikan ko tong recording na to. But do you feel the same way, Miss Dimples?
Robby, wag mo ko tawaging Miss Dimples. Hindi mo naman tayo ganyan magpusa. Robby, yung totoo, hindi tayo
May
ganyan
respeto kasi.
magpusa.
May respeto. Pero Dimples, do you feel the same way na medyo may pag-aalinlangan yung...
Sa akin, hindi pang pag-aalinlangan, but more like such big respect. Like, a sense of, I know that when you talk about content creator, because ako rin kasi, hindi ako sanay din na kunwari tayo, di ba? Pag artista, kapag tinawag kang artista, what does that even really mean? Parang hindi mo alam kung para saan ba tong label na to? Ano ba tong ibig sabihin? Hindi kasi ako malaki sa mga ganong bagay. Kumbaga parang hindi yun yung masyadong pinagtutuunan ko ng pansin. But when you tell me about content creators, the first time kasi that I was able to be exposed to that word was really when I met Will Dasovich. So si Will Dasovich was actually the one who replaced me and took my place in TFC Connect. Dati, nagti-TFC Connect ako. It's a show on TFC that connects all the mga TFC subscribers natin. Nag-shoutout tayo sa kanila at nakikipag-usap tayo sa kanila. We feature their stories. And then because I wasn't able to do that anymore, I was gonna go into The Greatest Love Ata na teleserye. Ang papalit, si Will Dasovich. And as we all know, my God, Will Dasovich is Will Dasovich. So, pero wala akong na-sense na parang he really felt so humble and so into what he was doing that it actually felt one of the most organic feelings I've ever come across. You know, that feeling na parang he was really just having fun, you know, being honest about his emotions and stuff like that. And ever since, alam mo yung pakiramdam pag marami kang namimit, tapos yung taong namimit mo, nagkakaroon ng imprint sa'yo. Yung parang kahit hindi niya sinasadya, may impact siya sa'yo. And then I only got to talk to him very, very, parang konti lang. But ako kasi I like to observe people and I absorb whatever I feel will help me in the future. And somehow, alam mo, never ako nakapagpasalamat dyan kay Will kasi hindi na kami nagkita. Pero sa totoo, by then, that's when I realized, why won't I try to share tidbits of my family's life as well, if it were only for inspiration? So when you talk to me about content creation, I feel that it comes with a big sense of responsibility, but at the same time, it is so real and so honest that, you know, you see the very core and essence of different people, which we love, of course. We welcome different kinds of emotions and feelings towards everybody. So yun yung sa akin.
Actually, no, para tayo na storya din with Will Dasovich. I saw him in action in Boracay, one of the first people who changed the game. And he came from Pinoy Big Brother. But before we talk about other things, let's ask another Pinoy Big Brother personality, Enchong Dee. Your thoughts about content creation or being tagged as a content creator?
Actually, nakakatawa kasi talking about Will Dasovich, I think Bea and I were in an event. And then that was the first time I heard that there's a thing between celebrities and content creators. So during that time, we were still laughing kasi syempre kami naman ni Bea, it was just recent. Pero I agree with you na Will Dasovich sort of started yung talagang term na content creator. But for me, Robbie, it's still, I look at content creator as a responsibility still. You know, it's part of me being an actor, being a celebrity, being an influencer. We have a duty and we have a responsibility in the service of the Filipino worldwide. Alam ko ilang beses na natin sinabi, but it is our responsibility, you know. Ito yung mga panahon na kinikilingan or kinakapitan tayo ng mga tao because kakaunti yung lumalabas na entertainment, but because every weekend sabay-sabay naglalabasan yung mga contents natin na dadala natin sila doon sa isang lugar na walang problema, walang iniisip at sinasakyan lang kung ano yung pinagdadaanan din natin. And I think that's the beauty of content creation because we have the monopoly in terms of our channel. Yeah.
I love that one. Providing another channel, lalong-lalo na in spite and despite of the things that happens, most especially to our home, no? At least hindi pa rin nawawala yung creativity, yung pagbibigay ng storya dahil yun ang importante. Tuloy-tuloy ang pagbibigay ng storya at kulay sa bawat Pilipino, I guess. And I love what you have said, kayong tatlo. Being a content creator is, it's just a title. But what means more is the responsibility na kaakibat noon. Okay, now, this time, I'm sure lots of people are just interested to find out, bakit nga ba kayo napunta dito sa realm na to? I mean, we all know that there's that certain responsibility, but ano yung isang moment na naudyok sa inyo, na nagudyok sa inyo na, uy, parang gusto kong buhatin yung camera, edit ko nga to, post ko nga to sa YouTube o kaya sa Facebook. What was that magical moment? Enchong?
For me, I remember going to a meeting with my team right now, DigiWorks, and telling them, on our first meeting, klaro sa akin, I want financial literacy. I want to be able to share my personal experiences and journey in terms of budgeting, in terms of being a budgetarian. Yun, klaro sa akin. That's why, kung titingnan, I started with podcasting talaga, not really vlogging. It was only after the declaration of ECQ na talaga ako nag-focus dun sa vlogging. But it was clear to me that I want to do financial literacy contents.
Mm-hmm. Were you pressured? Like, sinabi ba sa inyo ng isang management or mga kaibigan mo na, Song, gumawa ka na?
I mean, at first, syempre, di ba meron kang, another responsibility, another schedule na kailangan mong pagtuusan ng oras. But hindi dadating ka dun sa point na, na-enjoy ko na itong ginagawa ko. And masarap, aminin na natin sa sarili natin, masarap kapag dumadagdag yung subscribers natin, kapag dumadagdag yung views, di ba? So may ganun ding pakiramdam na ang saya ko dahil marami na akong nakikita ko kung ilan yung naaabot kong tao.
Oh, the reach. May importante nga. Pero alam mo bang na-reach din natin yung farm ng isa sa mga kasama natin dito? Grabe naman. Asyendera, Bea.
Nanay ko yun. Nakikifar lang ako.
Para sa'yo, kailan ba nagsimula? Naalala mo ba?
To be totally honest with you, I just started vlogging because I was just curious kung merong market, if it was going to help my brand at that time. Kasi medyo I've had people who told me na yung mga, kasi I've been in the business for 20 years. I mean, show business, entertainment business for 20 years. And they told me na doon ako sa generation na hindi masyadong kinakagat sa social media. And so, of course, I wanted to tap that market to help my brand as an actress. And at first, I was a bit lost because when I tried vlogging, yung una ko pang shinare was my preparation for my role dun sa movie namin ni Kuya Aga. And then after that, I remember vlog yung Amanpulo trip namin ng family ko. And then halo-halo yung reactions. I've had friends who called me up, mga artista friends who told me na, why are you vlogging? Alam mo, hindi ka vlogger. You should, keep your mystery, blah, blah, blah. So, parang it's so not you. We don't like seeing like that. It's not Bobby. It's not Basha. So, I was insecure. I stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore. Parang isip ko, maybe it's not for me. O nga, konti lang yung views. Baka hindi talaga para sa akin. So, I stopped. And then, may lumapit sa na isang team, na digital team, na I know kilala mo rin, Chong. And then, he was trying to help me figure out kung ano yung quote-unquote brand ko sa social media. And then, they were taking like BTS of me, being the artista Bea. And then, actually, it was doing well because syempre yung mga fans gusto nilang nakikita ako behind the scenes, right? But I also felt na I was sharing just the artista persona of Bea until the ECQ happened last year, and of course the closure of ABS-CBN happened. And I felt na parang naawa ko dun sa mga fans because my fans are very important to me. I feel like Itong mga tao na to grew up with me. Itong mga tao na to, pinagdaanan yung mga pinagdaanan nila at mga pinagdaanan ko na magkakasama kami. And they're very important to me. And I just felt like parang hindi tamang iwan ko sila sa panahon na mahirap para sa kanila, para sa ating lahat. So, sabi ko, bakit hindi ako bumalik sa vlogging? So, I started vlogging again last September. But this time, I was in control. I just, parang hindi ko na inisip yung views. I just really wanted to be connected to them, to create this positive community for them. And just for them to have this person they can resonate with. Kasi para na kaming they used to like see me every day on TV. So saan nila ako makikita? So para merong sense of normalcy para sa buhay nila. And I felt like it was my responsibility to them to do that. So yeah, right now parang mas komportable na ako. I am less insecure. The moment I dropped that branding thing, parang everything just came out naturally, and parang I am more comfortable in my own skin when vlogging right now.
And it cuts across, no? Your confidence, your authenticity. It does. Grabe.
I'm confident. I will never get used to these things.
No, but seriously, we just want to thank you for giving us those stories na hindi ko alam na may ganong face na pinagdaanan ikaw. But keep this in mind, no? You are not just Bobby, you're not just Basha, you are Bea.
And Robbie, isa yan sa mga insecurities ko na nag-uumpisa akong mag-vlog. Iniisip ko, maybe they just like me for being Bobby or Basha. Baka hindi nila ako gusto as Bea. Like, iniisip ko talaga, like, how do I reintroduce myself kung meron na silang parang perception of who I am on TV, on my movies? Parang iniisip ko, paano ako magpapakilala? They love Bobby so much and Basha so much. What if I'm not like them?
Well, ito isa sa mga sinabi sa akin ng isang kasambahay namin. Sabi ko, oy, magkakaroon ako ng interview mamaya kasama si Miss Dimple, si Enchong, Miss Bea. Sabi niya sa akin, Be, pasabi kay Miss Bea na napunta ako sa Maynila dahil sa kanya. Mahal na mahal ko, palagi pinaparod ko yung vlog niya. So, this certain individual coming from Bacolod, napapalipad mo, napapunta mo sa tahanan namin just because of your charm and because of your connection and influence.
It's really sweet. It's really important for me, yung mga ganyang kwento. Thank you.
No, thank you. All right, Miss Dimples. Sorry, Ate Dimps.
Yun lang naman talaga tawag mo sa akin. Nagugulat nga ako, nagmi-miss Dimps to sa akin.
Kasi pag nakita ko yung title ng CICP dito, parang, okay, up the game. Ate Dimps.
Hindi ako, Robbie, sigundan ko lang yung sinabi ni Bea. Si Bea, minsan, di ba, ang sarap makita na how humble she is and how modest this woman really is. And I only say it because I know her. She's my friend, no? She was my friend even before the big Bea Alonzo. I knew her as Bea. And so I like how she's telling you this story because I know she will inspire more people through her story. Can you imagine? Do you ever imagine having the word insecurity and Bea Alonzo in one sentence? Yung totoo. Right? I'm like, my God, so if Bea feels this way, then it's fine for me to feel this way kasi pare-pareho tayo. And then it reminds you that whoever you are, wherever, whichever background you come from, insecurities and all these struggles, hardships can be real. And if you see somebody who's going through that and she's still maneuvering all these stories to tell and stuff like that, it makes you want to achieve and, be hopeful for the future. May ganun siyang effect, di ba? So ako, alam mo sa totoo, I'm happy that she's telling this story because she's so candid about it. Hindi niya tinatago. She's yung kumbaga parang she's telling her story as it is, which I love. Anyway, for me, it was more to archive. As you know, I'm a working mom. I started working when I was 12. Diba? Imagine mo, I was hardly home. The children, Kali graduating from high school, I cannot take credit for that because it was Boet who was always home for us. no? So imagine ako as a mom, nung nag-start ako nitong vlogging, hindi ko pa nga alam na vlogging ang tawag dun eh. Naglalagay lang ako ng camera, nagve-video ako ng mga moments namin together, especially when I was cooking. And the only reason why I put a hashtag Dim's Kitchen was because I wanted to see it right away when I look for it. Kasi di ba minsan may mga recipe kang nakalimutan mo na. So kaya lang ako nag-start ng hashtag Dim's Kitchen was really just for my own use. It was really parang, and then na-realize ko, ay may mga nagpa-follow pala nun. Gusto pala nila yun makita. Kasi Kapampangan ako tas Bisaya si Boyet. So yung mixture ng Visayas at ng northern region natin pag nagluluto kami, siguro alam mo yun, and sarap namin magluto. Tanongin mo si Bea.
Sobra, lalo na yung adobo. Grabe.
Parang gusto namin maniwala ni Enchong kung may pruweba.
Akong bahala. Bigyan niyo sa akin na address niyo. Pakilagay na lang sa comment section yung address. Joke lang. Baka kasi maraming mga nanonood sa atin gusto malaman, diba? Pero si Enchong's kuya, AJ, was a big, super, super close friend of mine before he went to Norway. We were together. So he knows we really cook very well, no? So doon nag-start yon until people wanted to know about my kids, how we raised them. Parang there were questions like, di ba alam mo yon yung di kasi ako marunong dahil wala naman kaming formal training pagdating sa content creation. It's not like, I mean, now we're very glad that CICP is here. We get to have more information coming from the experts. But in our time, at least for mine, I didn't have that and I didn't know who to ask. Kasi it wasn't like, okay, there was this person that I can go to for this. Wala. So I just really went with the flow. And then people were asking, Ms. Tempos, how do you raise Kali? How do you raise an introvert? Kasi introvert si Kal eh. Diba? How do you make sure that she feels loved, even when she's so different from you? And then here comes Boyet, that we've been married for 18 years. People are asking, how are you still together? Why are you still together even when you're always fighting? Kasi we always say naman, naku, lagi kami nag-aaway. Pero they also know that we've been together for a very long time. So these little tiny requests from the people who follow me on social media were actually the driving force for me to keep going. It was like the story was evolving only because I was relying on my community. Parang they were really empowering. And alam mo, I have to tell you, I've had stories na sometimes I don't know kung saan yung boundary ng dapat ko pa bang ikwento o hindi. Kasi ang content ko, pamilya. Diba? So sometimes there's like for example for Enchong, ang ganda nung sa kanya. Sa totoo, I love watching it. I spoke with Enchong one time on JFinex. It's a parang financial for students, right, Chong? And I was always saying how fangirling I was over him because he's so young. And he's like what? A billionaire? Like
We're talking about dollars,
ha? BIR na naghahantay sa labas.
Kaya naman, Chong.
Chong,
pawisan ako agad dun, ha?
I will send my address as well. Baka may mapadala ka.
Hindi, pero di ba, medyo sensitibo yung sa akin only because it is my family. And I always have to look at, okay, I have to ask my family. Hindi naman sila showbiz eh. Di ba? So, anong klase ng privacy ba ang hanggang pwede ko lang ibigay? So, there's always a push and pull for me. But at the end of the day, the only question I want to answer is that, was I able to inspire somebody? Like, in that story, kahit isang tao lang sa totoo, hindi ko naman, alam mo pareho kami ni Bea, it's really not, sa akin ultimately, it's really not how many people watched at the moment it premiered. But what I love about the internet is that when you don't take it off, it's just there. And it's gonna find its way to somebody who needs to listen to it at that moment. I think that's what's most important for me. Na yung mga ganong klase ng kwento, okay, hindi nila pinanood ngayon kasi hindi pa nila kailangan yung content na yun eh. But at some point, if I leave it there and they have children like mine who's very shy and then the other child is super extrovert naman, then if they need that kind of story, kumbaga, they will relate. And that relatability factor really means a lot to me because, yun nga, pareho kami ni Bea na lumaki kami ni Enchong. Ultimately, I think for most celebrities, the way we're going about content creation is really giving back to those who have been following us from the very beginning. Kasi dahil pag artista ka, ang nakikita nila kaagad ay yung artista persona mo. Pero paano, hindi nila nakikilala kadalasan yung nasa behind the camera eh, di ba? Kasi hindi yun yung nakikita until social media came about.
Yeah.
Di ba? So, alam mo, I remember we were in a restaurant in Ortigas and I told Bea, and this was one of these days na parang she was feeling super, super low and insecure. And I told her, if only you can see, if only the other people outside can see the Bea that I am seeing, if only you will let them in, Bea, it's going to be a beautiful relationship between you and your supporters. And look at her now. Diba?
Remember
Like,
that? It was a
do
beautiful...
you remember, Mars?
Oo, malayong-malayo na tayo dun, Mars.
Ayong malayo na tayo na.
Ang daming stories ang nare-reveal dito, ha? Baka mamaya pwedeng pa-PM naman ng story na yan.
PM talaga? O hindi daw pwede yung PM is key. Bawal.
Ay, bawal ba yun? Well, actually, ito sa chat room and even on my list, I got a plethora of questions. Nux. But I just wanna get to know the real deal, no? We have to admit, in our home, naging numbers game din siya. About the ratings, siyempre, pataasan ng numbers. Pag mas mataas, ibig sabihin, mas maganda yung reception. Did you ever feel that, your platform was a place para tignan kung mataas nga ba yung numbers? Were you pressured with the numbers game before? Or are you right now pressured with the number of subscribers, certain goals na gusto nyo ma-achieve, yung reach, whenever you look at the, diagnostics, tama ba? Analytics. See, I don't even manage mine. it's my jowa who made me do it. Oh, sabi niya, sige, I'll handle all of the diagnostics, analytics, everything. Pero was there a time na naasar kayo, na pressure? Kasi si Miss Bea told us a while ago na ganun yung naramdaman mo before. And now, nag-iba na.
Yeah, I tend to not worry about it so much anymore because I feel like when I am getting pressured, parang hindi authentic yung lumalabas sa akin. And I don't want to have to create content that is not me anymore. Parang I'm at that point where parang I just want to share what is authentically me. So, yeah, I don't care about it as much anymore.
Mm-hmm. Chong, Kao.
Before, I'll be honest, yeah. Kasi yun yung measurement eh. Pero ngayon, totoo yung sinabi ni Bea, hindi na ako nape-pressure kasi kapag hinayaan ko yung sarili ko ma-pressure, mawawala ako dun sa direction ng financial literacy. It will all be entertainment and I don't want that. Kasi kapag nangyari yun, kapag puro entertainment, lalabas siya sa akin na trabaho more than passion.
I like that one.
Pero aminin natin, Robbie, may mga moments din na pagtingin mo sa YouTube mo at parang 2 milyon na or 1 milyon na, parang Christmas morning. Diba? Parang nag-box office yung pelikula mo. That's how I feel. And it's nice. It's a nice feeling.
And at the end of the spectrum, the other end of the spectrum, grabe, ang dami kong ginawa dito. Grabe yung edit ko. Tapos, 1.5 lang yung nanood. Alam mo, you get me? Parang,
what's nice about it is that pwede ka na bumawi. Lagi kang may feeling na parang hindi next week babawi. Baka next week iba na yung gusto nila or parang you can always create content that they might like.
I love that POV. Miss Ate Dimps. Ate Dimps.
Papaluin na talaga kita. Papaluin na kita.
Baka nga kunin mo yung Iron Man costume dun sa YouTube vlog mo. Hampas mo sa akin eh.
Ako siguro parang, hindi kasi I'm not a big numbers person. Only because whenever I think about numbers, even when I was still back in school and not an artista, it gives me anxieties. I don't like that feeling. I want to be able to create in a space where I feel most comfortable, and that means not having to worry about how many people will watch, who will watch. Again, at the end of the day, what I feel like the purpose, at least for my channel and for my families, is that gusto lang namin magpasaya. Kasi, alam mo ba si Bea, nakakatawa. Pag pumupunta sa bahay yan, lagi niya sinasabi, I think I remember, Bea, sabi mo, alam mo, Mars, ang swerte mo kasi yung bahay mo, para kayong nakatira sa sitcom.
Oo, kasi yung personalities ng buong pamilya niya, sobrang hindi ka talaga maiinip. Kaya dati lagi ako tumatambay sa bahay nila. Hindi na ako umuwi kahit na 5 a.m. na. Kasi pero ganun yung feeling ng followers mo at ng subscribers mo, Mars.
So yun
They like watching you because you enjoy spending time with your family. And siguro ganun din feeling namin kapag pinanonood yung YouTube mo na parang, sana nandyan ako.
Yeah. So parang yun, hindi ako masyado doon. I know that we have to, come out with the numbers. I know that at some point you really have to pay attention to it. But at the end of the day, I feel like if you put yourself in a position where you have to always constantly think about the numbers, you will lose your juice. Kasi nakaka-exhaust ng energy yun eh, di ba? Nakaka-exhaust. Nasa pandemya tayo. Of course, at this point, we just want everything easy and happy and chill. Nandun ka na sa muna. Kasi konting igit, madali kang mainis eh. Kasi nga, nagka-cabin fever na tayo. Kumbaga, at normal yun. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, si Alonzo kanina lang, sabi niya sa akin, Mama, I just realized I don't have friends. And that's a reality of children at the moment, di ba? So imagine if I have to think about numbers of things and mawawala yung focus ko sa pagiging nanay ko naman sa mga anak ko. And this is like a legit thing that, the children now are, kumbaga parang going through at the moment. So again, I'd like to choose my battles, and my battles actually do not require looking at numbers, but really looking at the reality of what is happening that is closest to me. Kasi I think the way we survive is that we have to take notice of the ones that are closest to us. Diba? Yung parang, I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Or the ones you can control. Kasi
Yes.
You can control it. It's out of your control.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Mars. Thank you.
Well, these are golden nuggets of wisdom sa mga viewers po ngayon. So please do take note at maraming salamat sa panonood. We got lots of questions pa rin, pero before we turn it over to Kim Poy, something to look forward to ng mga subscribers inyo. If there's one personality na gusto nyong makasama sa isang vlog or makakollaborate with, sino yon at bakit? Bea.
Ako, obsessed ako sa Happy Islanders. As in. Nag-upload na sila. So gusto ko silang makakulab. Gusto kong makilala sa personal si Lilo. Gusto kong makita sila Ellie. So siguro siya. Tsaka si Annie and Belmore.
Vela. Enchong.
I really wish for a schedule with Vice President Lenny Robredo.
Oh, okay. Nice. About finances din ba or anything under the sun?
About everything. Because kilala ko siya in a personal level, and I think hindi yun masyado nakikita ng tao because she's now the Vice President. Pero that is something I'm looking forward to. But I'm at the same time, sinisave ko siya. I don't wanna just do it now.
Ate Dimps.
Ako si Mikey Bustos. He does all these really fun MTVs and parodies, and I feel like jive yung personality namin in terms of kulit. Alam mo yun? Kasi syempre, as you know, bilang artista, marami ka rin, like when I veer away from being a mom, I actually enjoy, playing up and dressing up, and he does that a lot, so I love. And also, si Mikey has been sharing more about the development of the farmhouse. I like that kasi mahilig din ako sa ganun. So parang somehow may similarities kami sa personality, ganun.
Ayun. Daming mga lumalabas na pangalan dito sa ating chat room, 'di ba? Sa comment section. And hopefully mangyari 'yon very very soon. Pero guys, let me just remind you, hindi pa dito natatapos yung conversation natin dahil later on, we're gonna be talking about this thing called the Great Divide. This division between content creators and celebrities. Kanina, napag-usapan na natin ng konti yon, pero mamaya, masihimayin pa natin. Pero ngayon, Kimpoy, back to you, bro.
Wow, grabe. Ang dami ko natutunan sa conversation na yan. But before we move on, hello sa ating 1,600 viewers. Grabe. Ako ba, Robbie, pwede ba mag-request ng collab with Miss Bea Alonzo. Yan. Grabe. Hi, Miss Bea. Hi, Miss Dimples, Enchong, and Robbie. Ayan, grabe. Ang dami ko natutunan sa conversation nila na yan. And kung nakarelate din kayo sa mga pinag-usapan nila, i-comment nyo na yan sa ating comment section below. And let's make this a GMM trend. Guys, applaud our comment section with your thoughts and babasahin natin yan lahat mamaya. At this point, we'll take a quick break from the celebrity talk and divert a little into this new concept that's making waves in the world of content creation, which is non-fungible token, or what everyone calls as NFT. This concept has recently been introduced as something that is potentially beneficial to content creators. So the question is, how exactly? How can the industry gain something positive from NFT? Well, you're in for a treat because we have invited an expert this afternoon to talk about the world of NFT. Our keynote speaker this afternoon is the co-founder at BloomX and the author of the books The Little Bitcoin Book and Reinventing Remittances with Bitcoin. Please welcome Mr. Luis Buenaventura.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Luis Buenaventura. I'm one of the founders of a company called Bloom Solutions. We're based here in the Philippines. I'm actually coming to you live from La Union, which is probably not where you were expecting I would be. I'm here today to talk to you about NFT art. And the title of this talk is, what the heck is NFT art? Because a lot of the people who have come to me and asked me this question usually have very puzzled and confused looks on their faces. So what I'm going to do over the next 13 to 15 minutes or so is I'm going to try to take you on a whirlwind tour. Just an overview, not the gory details, but just enough so that you can start doing your own research and learning about this stuff yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to get started right now, and maybe at the end we'll answer a few questions if there's time. So, okay, what the heck is NFT art? And maybe you don't even know why we're asking the question. So here's a headline for you. And maybe if you're in the art world, maybe if you're kind of reading tech news sometime in the last couple of months, you've seen this headline. Beeple sold an NFT for $69 million. So if you're a normal person, an average person, you're looking at these words and you're like, what the? I don't understand any of this stuff. What is a Beeple? Firstly, what is an NFT, etc., etc. So let me break it down for you. So Beeple is the name of an artist. You can see the screenshot here of the work that he sold. This is a purely digital work. It took him 13 years to make it. Every single one of those little squares in that is a piece of artwork that he created. There's 5,000 of them. It took him 13 years to make. This NFT was sold for $69 million at auction in Christie's. If you don't know what Christie's is, that is a 400-year-old auction house. And, that's where you would go to buy a Picasso. But this is where Beeple sold his NFT art for $69 million. Now, lots of weird stuff going on here, right? So firstly, why was it so expensive? Who is this Beeple guy? It's a very well-respected motion graphics designer if you're from kind of that side of the industry. But generally speaking, the normal people out there probably don't know who he is. But this particular piece of work is so well-respected and adored by, kind of the art collectors that it commanded such a high price. Now, let's look at some other examples of NFTs, okay? And this is just to kind of give you a sense of what else is out there. Stan's Revenge by Eminem. This one sold for not $69 million, only 110,000 US. Still pretty good amount of money for Eminem. This actually sold just a couple of weeks back. So what you're looking at here is a screenshot, but it's actually an animated video. It's kind of like a music video that he sold. And if you're wondering if the Philippines has any of this stuff, if you check out the Crypto Art PH hashtag on Twitter, you will find a whole bunch of Pinoy artists based here in the Philippines who are in this space already, who are selling their work as NFTs. There are two examples here. Zodiac is a collection by Nara Gallery. These are some friends of mine. Not all of the artists are Pinoy, but it was Pinoy led, and they made about $110,000 also on this collection. And then one of mine, Satoshi the Creator, by myself and my collaborator Jose Delbo, is an Argentinian comic book creator. We sold this piece for a little over $400,000 a couple of months back. So there's definitely examples of Pinoys who are, here, based here, working out of here, who are able to participate in this new thing. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, so NFTs are a thing. There seems to be some money in it. It seems to be something that people are taking seriously. What is it then, right? So let's do the breakdown of the definitions. NFT, acronym, stands for non-fungible token, and you can ignore most of those letters. The only thing you have to remember is the word token. And the token part is the most important part, because the token part is a representation of something. It's a token, a digital token that represents something. In this case, what it represents is ownership. It is a token that represents a digital certificate of ownership in something. Now, this is kind of a wild concept for artists, for digital artists, because it's actually quite difficult for digital artists to prove that they own a piece. Or that it is now moved from them to a buyer. Non-fungible tokens, NFTs, are basically the solution for that. It allows digital artists to slap a certificate of ownership onto a JPEG, a PNG, an MP4, kind of these digital files, and actually say that this is the official edition from the artist, and I am selling it now, and now this digital certificate, this token, is moving from me to the new buyer. And not only will it show that the ownership has moved, it remembers the provenance. And what that is the history of owners. So it's possible that I created a piece, I sold it to someone, that someone sold it to someone else, that someone sold it to someone else. And then you will see the entire history of the owners of this piece over time. So all of that stuff is made possible by NFTs. And that's kind of one of the reasons why it's so big right now, why it's so hyped right now, because it's basically the first time in history that we've been able to do that without relying on a centralized authority or organization in order to do it. And that's what kind of makes it very unique and special. Speaking of, selling, where do you actually sell your NFTs if you're an artist? There are a couple of marketplaces out there. There's actually something like 12 to 13 very large marketplaces. And, the artists all just kind of figure out which ones they want to play in. These two here, these screenshots, is niftygateway.com and then makersplace.com. I've got small galleries in both, although Makerspace is my preferred one. Once you kind of start looking around, you'll realize that there's so many of them out there. The marketplaces are kind of, you can think about them as global galleries, where all of the artists have their own little, like a storefront, where they can organize their work, schedule parang exhibits, which we call drops. In the NFT world, we call them drops. And then you can promote your storefront or your gallery or your exhibit with the help of the marketplace. And if they like your stuff, they'll help you push it. They'll throw some marketing dollars behind it, and it will help you find more buyers, right? So that's kind of the function of the marketplaces in this world. What are the costs like? So there's a couple of words on this slide that you probably might not understand. Minting is is the verb for creating an NFT. So that's different from actually drawing it, no? So if you are an artist, you draw it on Photoshop maybe, so it's digital, no? So you draw it on your computer, you save the file, you're done. Now you have to mint it or turn it into an NFT. This is kind of like creating that digital certificate of ownership that I was telling you about. Typically, it costs about $150 these days, which is a little on the pricey side. And then there's an additional cost of the commission. So if you sell your work in one of the marketplaces that I was talking about, Nifty Gateway, Makerspace, Super Rare, Known Origin, all of these other places, most of them will charge you a commission of 20%. Now, if you know anything about the traditional art world, the physical art world, that's just about right. Because if you bought something in a gallery, typically the gallery takes about 25% commission. So that's quite normal, that range, that's fine. Now, how do the sales themselves work? So the first thing that's very important here is that the artist is the one that sets the prices, not the market, not the gallery. The artist does. So if the artist feels like they're not going to let go of their piece for less than whatever, $1 million, that's fine. They can do that if they want. How do you actually sell? Well, you can do a couple of different things. You can do auctions, right? And in which case you don't set a price at the start. You just kind of let people bid up, right? The screenshot on the right might not be very easy to read for you, but what that is actually is a screenshot of one of my own pieces that was up for auction. So you can kind of see how people were bidding it up slowly over time. So that's kind of one of the ways that you would sell your piece. You could do it through auction. And then, once you have reached a price that you feel is good enough, then you just award it to the highest bidder. You could also do fixed price. Again, if it's $1 million, you can just put that there. That's fine too. And then lastly, you can do time limited sales, which is a very interesting new little concept. So the way that works is that you only allow people to buy that work within a 5 to 10 minute window. And after that window is done, you can't buy it anymore. That's the last time anyone will be able to buy it. So it creates this weird excitement, no? Because people got to wake up for it. People have to make sure that they're online in time, and then they'll be able to jump in and buy it. So there's different techniques for kind of creating excitement around your work. The third thing that you need to know about sales is that you are going to be paid in some form of cryptocurrency. If you don't know what cryptocurrency is, that's probably going to be outside of the subject of this talk, but I can tell you that it's probably going to be a cryptocurrency called Ethereum, and that is going to be what you will be earning. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about how you would get out of Ethereum and actually get real pesos so you can pay your bills and things like that a little bit later. But the one thing that you should know also is that just after you've sold this piece, the potential for earnings for you as an artist, they don't end there. You actually have a thing called resale royalties. So if my piece, I sold it for, I don't know, whatever price, right? Call it $1,000. If I sold it for $1,000 right now, and let's say someone bought it at that price, if they resell it down the road and they sell it for $2,000, of that $2,000, 10% of it actually goes back to the artist. And this will continue to go back to the artist every time that artwork is sold. So you have royalties in perpetuity, which is very unique in the NFT art world. That is there's no version of this in the physical art realm, because it's so hard to prove that artwork has changed hands if you no longer know where it is in the world. In the case of NFTs, because all of that stuff is kind of permanently recorded on the blockchain, so it's very easy to tell when this token, this digital certificate of ownership, has moved from one person to another person. And that part is another very special thing, a very special benefit of getting into this space. So now let's say that you got your Ethereum. Let's say you sold your first NFT art. What do you do next? Well, now you have to kind of turn it into pesos. My company is called BloomX. That's what we do. We support about 250 different cryptocurrencies, and we're able to turn it into pesos that go directly into your GCash, your PayMaya, your BPI, your Union Bank, your BDO, what have you. And that's kind of the journey that you would take as an artist. So I took you from, and this is kind of I know that it was fast. I know that we tried to kind of do it whirlwind tour style, but I took you all the way from what is an NFT all the way to converting your earnings from NFT art sale into pesos. And I know that was very short and very quick, but hopefully that gives you enough and it piques your interest enough that you will actually get out there, look at that hashtag that I was sharing earlier, CryptoArtPH. That's a great place to start on Twitter. And then if you are so inclined, you can also follow me on Twitter. My Twitter is @HelloLuis. And then if you're really ready to get into this stuff, then you can join our waitlist at bloomx.app. So that's kind of what I've got. It's a very short. I promised the organizers that I was going to keep it short and sweet and hopefully pack in as much information as I possibly could in the time that was available. I think we have a few minutes for questions. Let me just read through this really quickly. So one question is, what types of art can be turned into NFTs? So this one is a funny question to ask because basically the answer to that is anything. And I've got two examples here that you will find very strange. So here's the headline. Let me read it. NYC man sells fart for $85, cashing in on NFT craze. So this guy, he's an independent filmmaker based in New York. And what he did was he filmed his farts every day for a year. He collected that into a single long video clip. And then he turned it into an NFT. He minted it as an NFT. And someone gave him $85 to own this independent film, the short film that he had created. So when I first saw this headline, it kind of it was a bit of a head scratcher, no? But apparently, hey man, if you can sell a fart for $85 and NFTs allow you to do that, I think the answer to the question of what can you sell, what can you turn into NFTs, I think the answer to that is basically anything. Basically anything. The other example here, slightly less crazy, this meme that most of the younger people in the audience will probably remember, Nyan Cat. So this was created 10 years ago by, just some guy who wanted to do like a little cute GIF animation of a cat, right? And it became like this meme. People loved it. It was really cute. He turned it into an NFT a couple of weeks back, about a month ago, and it went for auction and it was sold for $580,000. Now, granted, this is a piece of internet history. No, so Nyan Cat is one of those things that, kind of cats on the internet is a big deal, right? And Nyan Cat was one of those very prototypal examples of cats on the internet. And I don't know if it's necessarily worth $580,000, but clearly someone thought it was. So these are two examples that I can think of off the top of my head of very strange things that you could turn into NFTs. And I think that what the lesson that you can pick up from that is it's anything that you think someone will value, you can turn it into an NFT if you want. And what matters more is how unique the story is. I think the guy who sells farts and the guy who created Nyan Cat, those are both very unique stories. They're very, very hard to replicate. I don't think you'd want to in the case of the fart guy. But it's hard to replicate their stories, and that's what makes it a valuable thing to buy. Now, last question. What is the initial step that an artist or creator can take to turn his or her art into NFTs? Okay, so I have one other screen to share with you guys. This is the screen from Maker's Place where you're actually uploading your NFT. And if you look at the form, it's not very different from anything else that you would expect. There's you browse for your file, you put a title, you put a description, you say how many editions you want to sell, and then you click publish, right? So it's not that different from uploading a file to, I don't know, whatever, to Facebook or Twitter or whatever. It's actually there's no real difference. The only difference is that when you click publish, you will need to pay a certain amount of Ethereum for the creation of that NFT. And this is the part where I was saying that, it's called minting. There's a certain dollar value to that. It's not exactly $150. It's somewhere in that range. So one of the things you would need to have is this screenshot here. It's my Ethereum wallet. And you would have to have an Ethereum wallet so you could pay for this fee. So those are kind of the things that you would have to start. I'm grossly oversimplifying this entire conversation because I'm trying to keep it as kind of summarized as possible. But I think that what I hope to leave you with is that there is a whole world out there about NFTs. There's this whole opportunity out there for artists, for Filipinos. It's a global challenge. Everyone who has an internet connection can participate. And for the first time in the world, artists in provinces I live in La Union, so artists that live not in central cities and things like that, they can still sell their stuff. And, the people who are paying for our work are in North America or in Europe or in Australia. it globalizes and kind of democratizes art in a way that's never been possible before. So, if I leave you with anything, remember that there is a potential here to really level the playing field for Filipinos and people who don't really normally have access to, art centers like New York or LA or London or Paris or things like that. So for the first time, people who are not in those areas have a way to kind of, run with the best of them and offer their art to the world. And because of that, I'm very optimistic and very hopeful, and I hope you are all as well. Thank you so much. I hope you found that interesting and educational. Back to you, Employ. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Luis, for giving us a better understanding of NFT. And I hope my fellow creators watching us today will take the lessons they've learned in their journey as well. And moving on, I promise you guys na meron pa tayong kwentuhan kasama ang ating mga celebrities turned creators. And this time, they're going to talk about their experiences as newcomers in this digital industry. Did they ever feel welcomed? Were they accepted right away, or meron bang division between celebrities and the OG creators? Malalaman natin yan in the next half of our session. So guys, back to you.
Maraming salamat, Kim Poy. I'm just looking at the social media right now. Maraming salamat for the people who make or who keep on making this event trend. Maraming salamat po for the support. Okay, kanina, nabitin tayo with a certain conversation about this great divide. This is really an interesting topic. So, I'm just gonna put this out. Sa tingin nyo ba, meron pa bang great divide? Nagkaroon before? I'm sure naranasan nyo yan between the content creators and the celebrities. What are your thoughts about that one? I want to ask Enchong.
Ako personally, meron kasi ako may pagka-disconnect kasi ako sa mga nangyayari. So, I don't know. I don't feel it. I don't see it. And because there's no event, hindi ko rin siya wala akong nakakausap about it. So, I have no idea that there is, pero apparently there is. So,
do you believe until now merong ganong dichotomy or ganong feeling?
Siguro, Robbie, yung yung questions din natin bilang artista na, bakit itong isang tao na to artista na kaagad? Yung parang ganun. But I don't think it will divide us because I truly believe that for us as an online content creators, for us to actually flourish, we have to collaborate. If we don't, it will be plain, it will be blunt. Kumbaga kanya-kanya tayo. So, I don't think it's necessary to have a divide.
Ang ganda na sinabi mo. Kasi before, when you talk about collaboration, it's just one artist talking to another artist na gumawa ng isang content.
Yeah.
Pero when you put it that way, nag-iiba yung dynamics, nag-iiba yung relationship, no?
Yeah. And you lift each other up, di ba?
Yeah. Ate Dimps, maraming salamat, Enchong.
Ako siguro parang pareho kasi alam mo, it's very humbling that every time I get to meet content creators, they've been very, very kind to me. Like, ako kasi matanong ako, lalo pag hindi ko alam. Hindi kasi ako nahihiyang magtanong. Like, I would really say, huy, ang galing mo sa ganito. Paano mo yun ginagawa? At lahat ng tinanong kong content creators, sinagot nila ako rightfully and so much more. So, sa totoo, parang if there's any divide, I've never experienced it. And thankfully, none of the content creators that I know and have been friends with ever made me feel that I was not welcome in their space. They've always been very, very kind to me. And tuloy, with that, alam mo naman, di ba, na kapag nakaramdam ka ng ganong kindness or warmth towards, from somebody, you actually reflect the same way. So, in the same manner, every time may content creator ako na sobrang husay na nila pagdating sa vlog, YouTube, and stuff like that, when they call me naman about personal branding, I always also answer everything that they ask of me. So, kunwari, Ate Dims, paano mo ginagawa yung branding na ganito? How do you get the message across? Or how do you actually create a message image for yourself, for your family. And that's when I answer na, ganito. Kasi it's like a common courtesy, common respect. We're all creatives, diba? Magkakaiba lang talaga tayo ng space, but at the same manner, I feel like personally, I've never had to deal with it, thankfully. And napakasarap actually magkaroon ng kaibigan na content creator. Alam mo kung bakit? Not just talking about the vlogging, they're just super, super generous about who they are, how they do things. Kasi innate sa kanila yung generosity. That's the reason why it truly makes them a great content creator, is because I am one of their viewers. I'm one of their audience. That means kung paano niya ako kinakausap, ganun din niya nakakausap yung mga tao only through the screen. So imagine, the beauty of really listening into one another. And again, now more than ever, we realize that the creations that we make are actually empowering the whole community. No, it's not just one person to one person. The contact is really limitless, diba? So, yun yung sa akin. Never kong na-feel. Ang babait nung mga nakakatrabaho ko at nakakatawa pa doon, sila pa yung, lalo nung nagkakadenang ginto ko. Like, Ate Dems, pwede bang samahan naman, mag-ano kami, or Daniela Mondragon look kami, or pwede
Pasampal
bang
naman po, pasampal. Ganyan.
Oo, alam mo yun. So, totoo yun na may mga ganun na, sampalin mo naman ako. Tapos inisip ko, ba't kaya niya gusto magpasampal? Yung pala. So, yun naiintindihan mo, Robin, may ganun pala yun na feeling. And ako naman kasi, sobrang oblivious ko sa ganyan. Alam mo yun? So, nakakatuwa lang na in the space where we are in, syempre, kami bilang artista, parang we're really just, going with the flow of who we meet, where we can stay. Kasi hindi ka rin naman makapag-dictate na, okay, wait, ito yung gagawin ko. Kasi hindi ganun, it doesn't work that way. I feel it works best when we actually share with one another and are gracious with each other's shared space. Parang ganun.
And I just want to add on to that one. Generosity is one facet. And another thing for me is yung passion nila when it comes to doing their thing or producing content, and not just ordinary content, beautiful content talaga. Parang it makes you wonder, and it parang sparks your interest and your passion once again why you're doing this thing. Na parang okay, galing mo okay, ganun pala yung gusto kong maramdaman ulit yun.
Yeah.
All thanks to these wonderful creators na binibigyan tayo ng reason to create. Kasi si Bea kanina nasabi na some of your artista friends or celebrities said when you went into vlogging, sabi, uy, ano ba naman yan? Ba't ka nagva-vlog? Ano ba yan? What was your initial reaction?
Somehow, a part of me actually believed them because I was so insecure. I didn't know what to do, Parang at that time, parang inisip ko, maybe it's really not for me, But then, eventually, I realized it's for everyone. And I feel like it's such an inclusive community, inclusive environment. And actually ngayon, recently lang pala naka-collab ko si Mimia. And sa totoo lang, sobrang niyang generous sa information, sa lahat ng experiences niya, and lahat din naman mga nakilala kong content creators, just like Dimples, they're all so nice and they're supporting me, and I feel like it's such a beautiful environment, and if only we can celebrate this, lahat tayo magsasucceed, I really don't feel the divide na sinasabi ninyo.
Well, before, it was some of the celebrities who would say, oh, ba't ka nagva-vlog?
Lahat, ngayon marami na ring celebrities. Siguro yung sinasabing divide, maybe it's not really a divide, maybe may change ng landscape. So, naging siya, may iba sa paningin natin. Maybe it's not divide, it's...
Baka distinction.
Baka ganun. Label.
Parang hindi ko alam, parang madidistinct. Okay, ito artista siya na nagva-vlog. Meron naman na nagva-vlog na naging artista.
Exactly.
Parang gano'n. Hindi ko alam kung tama ba yung word na distinction. Baka mali ako. Pero kasi if we're putting a label, ito kasing si Robbie ang hilig sa label eh. Robbie!
Hey! I'm providing things right here. Baka ibang malabel ko dito,
Hindi, pero totoo yun. Parang medyo, nagigets ko. Parang alam mo sa totoo, minsan the more kasi taboo it is, parang mas hindi pinag-uusapan, parang mas lalong nagiging pronounced yung adjustments. Pero really, when you let it flow lang, like fluid, parang mas sa totoo, we're just all inspired by one another eh. Diba? Parang ganun eh. See, I don't know if you know McCoy Dubs. Diba?
Yes.
Okay. I super
Auntie Julie.
Yes, Auntie, I super love. Pero alam mo, di ba yung persona niya parang nakaka-intimidate. Nung na-meet ko siya, alam mo, na ko yung parang, sabi ko, grabe no, yung creativity na tong taong to, hindi mo masukat kapag, hindi mo masukat kasi iba-iba siya. Yung parang, actually, ang lalaki ng mga content creators na nami-meet mo, tapos ikaw pa mismo, ako kahit na matagal na tayo nag-aartista, may ako, hindi ko alam kung na-feel niyo yung Chong at saka Bea, yung na-fan mode ka.
Ako din kay Mimia, ganyan yung feel ko. Parang nakita ko siya, parang, oh my God, nakikita ko lang siya sa vlog. And now...
Parang, tapos napapatwerk ka kasi diba ang hilig niya mag-twerk? Diba? So parang ako, wow, grabe, ang galing niya. Tapos sabi ko nga kay Boyet, Daddy, pag-aralan natin mag-twerk, sabi talaga ng asawa ko, ikaw talaga?
O talaga, drink your water. Sabi.
Oo, drink your water.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So, actually, ang galing din kasi bago rin siya para sa akin. Kasi when I met Mia, syempre sanay tayo sa mga artista, may assistant, artista, diba? May driver na, ganyan. Dumating siya dito na siya lang. And syempre may dalawa siyang kasama, isang shooter at isang parang producer niya. So parang hindi siya sa akin, hindi siya, I guess, normal sa environment natin as an artista na maraming kasama, right? Parang doon nag-iiba yung paningin ko na, nga, this is a totally different, ball game. And I'm enjoying this because para ulit akong beginner, I am discovering so many things.
Ang ganda na lahat ng sinabi niyo lahat. I think instead of talking about or discussing about this division, why don't we just agree na let's denounce this division? Kasi there is no division at all. This platform is meant to unify people, lalong-lalo na sa panahon ngayon. So yes, to more collaborations, not just in that sense, like we see in one content, pero it's a world of collaborating. It's a world of being together and showcasing that we could be one in any kind of platform.
I agree.
Okay na, Ate Dimps?
Uy, ang galing ko talaga, Robby. Alam mo,
grabe ang kinis ng leg ni Robby. Parang
walang buhok. Oh, filter.
No, hair.
Let's make sure hindi po ma-omit yung part na yun. Angat lang po, dire-diretso tayo. And ako lang, Robby, I just wanna tell you how proud I am of you. You're so cool. Like, you're such a cool guy. If Alonzo were to grow up, I want Alonzo to be a mixture of Enchong and Robby. Cool and money savvy. Gusto ko ganyan. Diba? Kasi
You
yung
would be needing 5 Jesuits for that one. For Alonzo.
Just be careful what you wish for
Yes,
now.
yes. I don't want to wish for that for that kind of thing para sa anak ko.
Grabe naman.
Pero kung magiging Enchong, go ahead. Magiging Robby, anak, kailangan mo ng maraming Bible. Yeah, but yes, we just want to really thank everyone na nakasama natin dito, CICP, for finally having these icons telling these stories and really, paano ba to? Elaborating that there is no division. Maybe there was before, but we are here to say that it doesn't exist in our world. Kasi this world is for everyone. This online world, this real world, any kind of world. It's a gift. It's a blessing, which is meant to be shared.
Everyone has a story to tell.
Oh, I like that one. Well, in order to, well, not in order actually, to all the people listening and watching, pareho, listening and watching eh. Watching. Let's coin that term. To all the
Yeah.
people watching right now, what's one piece of advice do you wanna say to everyone? Chong,
Na
ikaw.
magsisimula sa pag-content creation.
Yes, in terms of creating content.
Well, of course, I don't know if I'm the perfect person to give advice, di ba? Kakasimula pa lang natin. But I heard this TED Talk. The title of the TED Talk is When Ideas Have Sex. So for millions of years, the only reason why the human race survived is because they shared ideas. Pare, napadaan ako dun sa kanto, may dinosaur, kinain yung kaibigan ko. Di mo nalalapitan yung dinosaur. Pare, yung kaibigan ko namatay dahil kinain yung prutas na ganito. Hindi mo nakakainin yung prutas. So you share ideas. That's the only reason why we got into this civilization now, this advanced civilization now. But what's happening now is nagkakanya-kanya tayo. 'Di ba? Dapat may sariling ganito si channel ni ganito, dapat may sariling ganito, dapat mas mataas. No, it's never competition. For us to move forward as a nation, as a content creator, whatever it is, you have to learn how to socialize properly, respectfully, and honestly to people. So I guess that's it.
Are you running, just in case?
Okay. One thing for all, Robbie. Hindi mo kailangan tumakbo sa politika para mahalin ang bayan natin.
Oh, okay. Ayos. Sinabi mo. No, I was talking about UP. Are you gonna be running around UP? Sama ako sa'yo.
Soon kapag pwede na.
Okay. Keep that in mind. Miss Bea.
I don't know kung tama rin akong tao magbigay ng advice, pero siguro magagaling na lang sa personal experience ko. I used to be worried about my brand before I started vlogging. Siguro yun na lang i-share ko dun sa mga nag-uumpisa. Do not worry about that. Do not worry about how people will perceive you. Just be you, do you. Alam mo, sabi nga since nag-quote si Enchong kanina, sabi nga ni Mamang Oprah, that excellence be your brand. So, if you love...
May kinabahan na si Dimples bigla.
Pero may may pag-quote. But yeah, just do what you love and love what you do. And be the authentic you. That's it.
Gusto ko yung lahat tayo naghahanap na ng mga quotes. Ano bang pwedeng quote na?
Uy, ang gagaling naman ng mga sinabi niyo. Putulin na, okay na tayo doon. Mag-rest na tayo doon.
May marami nag-expect. Mataas yung expectation namin. Pressure is on, Ate Dimps.
Sa Dimples na yan, no?
Nakatulog na ako. Ano ba? Ako siguro, simulan ko na by... Kasi... tingnan mo, ang tema nito, we don't feel like we're the right people to give advice because kami yung nagsisimula sa espasyong ito. In fact, when you mentioned kanina na icons, parang naisip ko, relative pala yun, no? Parang ano yun yung term na yun, dito sa space na to, hindi kami yun, Roppy. Sila ang icons dito sa space na to because they've been doing it for a very long time. And sure, we will talk about, if we talk about yung space naman namin, okay, kung ganun, isipin mo, pwede, parang you'll take that, diba? Pero in this space, I feel like I'm not an icon in this space. This space is different. That means in every single space that we are put into, everything that we, acknowledge ourselves to be, can be dependent on who are we speaking to. Who is your audience? Who are you talking to? And if there's one quote that I want to quote, I know that, you've already quoted great people, but in my home, I quote the best when I quote my children. And si Callie was telling me in a letter during Christmas, because we've been going through a lot. Ang hirap pag may teenager ka, tsaka toddler kang pinapalaki sa pandemyang to. It's not easy. I-add mo pa yung pressure na kailangan mo magtrabaho, ang dami mo pang binabayaran. Lahat tayo pinagdadaanan yan. And oftentimes we don't know that because on social media, kadalasan ang nakikita mo naman is only 1% of a person's life and personality, right? So let's not assume that people are okay just because you see they're okay. Once in a while, you have to check on them and really, really get to know if they are all right. But a quote that I love that kasi Kali writes really beautifully. Sabi niya, Mama, no matter where we go, whether we hit rock bottom or you become the most successful, and Daddy will also, because nagva-vlog din si Boy, will be, the best vlogger, businessman, whatever. Wherever we go tayo nila Alonzo, I want you to remember that everything I learned from you and everything that I will do will be because of and leads to home. So at the end of the day, I feel like this space is our home and their home, and ang tahanan ay hindi nagiging masaya at masarap na tirhan kapag mag-isa ka lang. So I feel like, being able to share even just this space, talking to you all, really makes my heart very happy. Because somehow I remember I have a connection to you and you are connected to me. And if I ever feel like I'm at my lowest, na talagang babang-baba na ako, I will not be alone. Because I have you guys. I can call upon you. I can check on you and say, hoy, buhay pa ako, nandito pa ako. So, alam mo yun, yun lang, yung siguro yung pinaka sa akin na I just want to thank everybody watching right now and everybody at CICP for making sure that, not only do we feel welcome, kasi kami yung nakikisuyo ng space, di ba? Kasi baguhan kami sa espasyong to. But really just making sure that all content creators feel validated. Yun. Kasi yun naman yung importansya why we're also here. Why are we talking about this? It's because everybody, every single one person watching at the moment is important. Diba? Tama si Enchong eh. Every person has a story to tell and that story is worth listening to.
Oh my gosh. We have heard lots of stories, lots of answers, or lots of questions have been answered. And I just want to really thank you, Enchong, Bea, Ate Dimps, for being so authentic, for sharing these stories na hindi namin alam na nag-exist pala. And for really telling everyone how fun it is to create, how it's fun. Yes, it's also hard. It's not easy. But what's important is we continue, no? I just really want to thank CICP as well for having us in this realm dahil marami tayong natutunan, marami rin tayong naibahagi. And siguro before I turn it over to Kimpoy, may nabasa ako before. Siyempre, level up din ako.
Ay, ito talaga hinihintay ko eh. Ito talagang quote.
Sabi ko na hindi papayag to si Robbie. Okay, ikaw, Robbie, ano ba tong quote na to?
Hindi, kasi you talked about sharing ideas, Bea talked about being you, let excellence be your brand, ganda, no? And let this space be our home. But ang natutunan ko dito, napulot ko rin dito, is that, one should be happy for the man who knows the what's of his life, no? Be happier for the man who knows the house of his life, but be happiest for the man who knows the whys of his life. And because of what you said, I think we know our reason or reasons, and one of which is to continuously create, diba? And that is what CICP is all about,
being our home, and that is the bottom line.
Being our home, being this space where we can showcase excellence, where we can share ideas. So yeah, on that note, to the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines, maraming salamat po sa inyo. At sa lahat ng mga nanood, maraming salamat. Kimpoy, don't be pressured, but we need a quote coming from you.
Grabe, thank you so much, Robbie, Miss Bea, Enchong, and Miss Dimples. Grabe, sobrang heartfelt ng conversation na yan. Talagang pinapakinggan ko siya and dami kong natutunan. It's so humbling to hear these thoughts from these big artists na talagang ina-admit nila that they're new in the space and they're willing to learn and they're willing to share kung ano man yung meron sila. Grabe, nakakatuwa and super relate talaga ako. And Robbie, ako naman siguro for my quote is naniniwala ako. I believe that creators and artists are the same mold of people who create art to entertain and inspire. Yon, di ba may pamold tayo? Hindi kasi pare-pareho na naman tayo nagpapasaya. And sobrang relate talaga ako sa mga experiences nyo. And short story lang, hindi ko alam kung naalala pa ni Robbie, when I first entered the entertainment, the showbiz industry naman, isa siya sa nag-welcome sa akin. My first TV appearance was actually with Robbie Domingo. And now, ang liit talaga ng mundo, we are now welcoming them naman, the celebrities, into the digital world. So, grabe. And ang dami ko natutunan sa discussion nyo. Grabe. Kaya naman, guys, don't forget to follow them on their social media accounts. Miss Bea Alonzo at Bea Alonzo, Miss Dimples at Dimples Romana, Enchong at Mr_Enchong Dee, and of course, Robbie at I am Robbie Domingo. Make sure to check them out on their YouTube channel. Yes, lahat sila meron ng YouTube channel. Kung hindi pa kayo nakasubscribe, make sure you guys subscribe after our live stream. And moving on, we can just end this very informative and star-studded GMM without hearing from CICP President himself, Jim Guzman, and CICP Director for Ethics and Governance, Attorney JJ Dicini, for their closing remarks. President and Attorney, please take it away.
Thank you, Kimpoy. Wow, Attorney, grabe tong natin, GMM this month. I didn't even feel the last 1 hour and a half. It's almost 1 hour and a half, grabe. Very interesting how, the insights from our guests, from the celebrities to Luis. I cannot say anything.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you think?
You're right. The time went by so quickly, and very interesting. I learned a lot. Ang ganda ng mga insights na narinig natin from everyone.
Oo, tsaka Attorney, lalo na on the celebrities, with Bea, with Dimples, with Enchong, and even Robbie, who really did a great job as a host. But parang it's very interesting to hear parang everyone's journey, diba? Na parang even if they're celebrities that we all think that they're used to appearing in front of the camera, they have a very unique and a different story in terms of how they started, what pushed them to become content creators, diba? And then Enchong gave a very parang he said in the chat na parang as long as you have a story to tell, because everyone has a story to tell, there's a place for you on YouTube. You can be a content creator, right? And very interesting yung humility, Attorney. Diba? Parang, even if they're already celebrities who are successful in their field, that alam nilang, itong pinapasok nila is really new. No, it's not a familiar space to them. Parang they have that humble, they want to learn, they want to collaborate with creators, they want to get better at it, because at the end of the day, there's only one industry for this space, right?
Yes.
And I guess ang pinaka for me striking sa dulo would be yung answering the issue nga of the Great Divide. Parang very refreshing and not to hear that there's actually no divide. Parang it's a lot of people are saying there is, but everyone's willing to collaborate, everyone's willing to, and we see now on YouTube, we see now on Facebook how celebrities and creators from different parts of the country collaborate. Karamihan pa ngayon virtually, diba? Parang now more than ever, we really need to collaborate, and this is a space we can all share together. Sabi nga, digital is now the real estate of this generation, right?
Right.
I'm really, really thankful and sobrang exciting yun. Ikaw, Attorney, what do you think about the talk of Luis naman? Buenaventura on NFTs.
That's right. Actually, speaking about the Great Divide, I mean, I think we have to remember that a lot of these celebrities didn't start out as celebrities, right? They had to work hard, and I think we're going to see that here. And in a sense, the people are already in the space and are already making content earlier. Actually, have a head start, and this is a challenge for everyone. And I think NFTs, Lito has shown us. Or Luis has shown us, I'm sorry. Luis has shown us that there's a future there. This is a new kind of content that they can create. that our creators can create and make money on. If somebody can make digital art and sell it for millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, if the NBA can sell moments, right? Our creators can start thinking about what can I sell? What can I sell on an NFT that people will want to collect? And I think that CICP is here. We see this as an opportunity. I think we see this as we see CICP as a platform, as a place to discuss and collaborate, and then create opportunities for our members. So I think this is going to be one of the projects that we will probably be undertaking this year. Certainly, we'll propose it to the board, and let's create that discussion around NFTs and creating more opportunities for our influencers and members.
Yeah, I think if not the first, we're one of the first to really talk about NFTs in our event. Galing. So yes, I mean, with that, thank you, Attorney JJ. It's a great honor to be your partner for this month's GMM. I enjoyed the entire planning process, and I thank everyone who worked on this. Thank you, maraming salamat, at stay safe, Attorney.
Thank you. My honor as well, Jim.
All right, back to you, Kimboy.
Sorry guys, naka-mute pala ako. There you have it. Our closing remarks are from CICP President Sir Jim Guzman and CICP Director for Ethics and Governance, Attorney JJ Dicini. Thank you, President Jim and Attorney JJ. We are now nearing the end of this month's GMM, and hopefully we all learned something today. Personally, mas lalo ko silang naintindihan at yung mga experiences nila from being actors to creators, kasi I already knew how it feels to transition from being a creator to an actor. But today, I've learned how it is kapag baligtad naman. Sobrang nakarelate ako and sobrang nakaka-humble ng mga natutunan ko sa kanila. And now we have a better understanding of the individual journeys of celebrities in this new world. Hindi madali para sa kanila. So hopefully, para sa ating mga creators and influencers, we also welcome them in the industry. Kasi ako personally, I'm very, very happy to be sharing this space with them. Grabe, lalong-lalo na welcome din naman ng mga artista ang mga katulad nating mga fellow creators dyan sa kanilang world of show business. So welcome guys, and hindi rin ako naniniwala sa division na yan. It's all about collaboration. Kaya naman, thank you so much CICP for this opportunity to have conversations like this when we're given a different perspectives on different topics. Thank you. And we'd also like to thank all of you who tuned in. Meron pa rin tayong 800 viewers. Grabe, maraming salamat sa inyo. And huge thank you to Amare La Cocina for making this session possible. You should check them out on Facebook as well at Amare La Cocina 1. So guys, if it wasn't obvious, I just wanna reiterate kung gaano kasaya to be part of this month's GMM, and so happy to be talking about this topic na dati ko pa talaga gustong i-share sa inyo. It's truly an honor to listen and learn from all our celebrity guests and keynote speaker tonight. Grabe, I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'm so hyped to create more content after listening to today's GMM, and excited akong gumawa ng mas marami pang content para sa inyo. And I'm looking forward na mapanood pa ang mga vlogs ng ating mga celebrities. And who knows, di ba? Baka maka-collab din natin sina Bea, si Enchong, si Miss Dimples, di ba? So, I gotta go guys. Maraming salamat. I gotta make that happen. And again, my name is Kimboy Feliciano, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. But don't leave just yet. If you guys enjoyed today's session, then I highly suggest that you join CICP to get more sessions like this, and to know more about CICP, please watch this. Goodbye and good night, everyone.
Social media marketing has been increasingly getting bigger within the content marketing and advertising industries. It's set to keep growing as many companies build up their brand and retail presence online. This is why we established the Creator and Influencer Council of the Philippines. It's made up of all the stakeholders that contribute actively to this industry, from content creators to influencers to brands and agencies, and we invite everyone within these segments to join us. Together, we aim to inspire, educate, and guide everyone involved to create a thriving and established network of professionals, with the goal to foster the prosperity of our members and provide industry leadership, to build an ecosystem with integrity, collaboration, and respect at its core.
Together,
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 we
are the
CICP.